News coming in, heartbreak for India. India's Vinesh Phogat has been disqualified from the Paris Olympics after she could not make the weight on the morning of her 50 kg gold medal bout. The wrestler was reportedly over the permissible limits. She made the weight for Tuesday's bouts, but as per rule, wrestlers have to stay within their weight category on both the days of the competition. And news just coming in, it's a major heartbreak for India. Vinesh Phogat was doing extremely well at the Paris Games, and now she has been disqualified from the Paris Olympics after she could not make the weight on the morning of her 50 kg gold medal bout. The wrestler was reportedly over the permissible limits. She made the weight for Tuesday's bouts, but as per rule, the wrestlers have to stay within their weight category on both days of the competition. And for more on this, our sports editor Digvijay Singh is joining us on the show. Hi Digvijay, a major heartbreak for India indeed at this point of time. India's Vinesh Phogat has been disqualified from the Paris Olympics. Tell us more.
Well, it's a huge setback for the Indian team, for all of India, and for all of us who are here covering the games, Rahisha, because it's 8 in the morning. We just woke up and the phone started buzzing. My sources started telling me that there's going to be a major announcement. The Indian Olympic Association has also, Rahisha, just released a statement, and I'm going to, if you permit me, I'm just going to read from it. This is a statement we've just received from the Indian Olympic Association, who are here at the village. It is with regret that the Indian contingent shares news of the disqualification of Vinesh Phogat from the women's wrestling 50 kg class. Despite the best efforts of her team through the night, she weighed in a few grams over 50 kg this morning. No further comment will be made by the contingent at this time. The Indian team requests you to respect Vinesh's privacy. It would like to focus on the competitions at hand. This message has just dropped. It sent shockwaves because last night, Rahisha, we all sort of slept on the fact that India is going to fight for a gold medal. Vinesh Phogat was absolutely sensational throughout this competition. She was going for gold. After what she'd gone through, perhaps this was vindication, it was redemption. But by not making weight this morning, all her hopes are dashed. It's going to be a third Olympics. She's going to be disqualified from the entire competition. We initially thought that it's only the gold medal match, but she's been disqualified from the entire competition.
Right, Digvijay. The IOC has also issued a statement, and she was 100 grams over the permissible limits. Has this ever happened in the past as well?
Well, making weight, Raisha, in a sport, in a contact sport, is always difficult. There have been cases in the past. In fact, I have spoken to many boxers and many wrestlers over the years, because remember, they are fighting in. I'll just break this down on what's happened in the case of Vinesh. So Vinesh is fighting in the 50 kg category. So when you fight in the 50 kg category, your weight has to be 49 kgs, 999 grams, or in certain rare cases, exactly 50 kg. If you are even 0.001 grams above that weight, you are disqualified because it is an unfair competition to the other wrestler who obviously is 50 kg or below. So wrestlers, boxers, judokas, when you're fighting in a certain weight category, you have to work through the day to reduce it. I know so many boxers, so many wrestlers who on the day of the competition or the day before the competition, they are jogging around in their tracksuits in the heat, they are taking sauna baths, they are not eating, and then once they make the weight, they try to fuel up and get to the match. One of the boxers once told me, I asked him, how do you fight on an empty stomach? And he said, a hungry tiger is more hungrier than the rest. So all these performances that you see, let's put it in perspective. All these performances that we see from Vinesh, from all the other wrestlers, they've basically been fighting without anything in their body. It's basically on pure adrenaline. And that's why it's so tough. Because yesterday, at around 6:45 when she won that semi-final match. I was there at the mix zone. She walked past all of us. We tried to get her to give a comment. She said, "Not today. I have to prepare for tomorrow, and I will speak to you tomorrow." This is just heartbreak, Raisha.
Right, Digvijay, also just for clarification, I want to ask you that does she also lose her remaining medals, especially the silver medal that she won yesterday?
Well, as we are hearing at the moment, the rules are a bit sketchy. Initially, we were told that she will lose only the silver medal match. But UWW rules, United World Wrestling rules, are saying that she will be disqualified from the entire tournament because she did not complete the tournament. You started this weight category, 50 kgs with a certain weight, you have to end with it. So we're still going to confirm that and recheck that. But what we're being told is that she will not medal. In fact, on the Paris Olympics website, it is saying that a gold will be awarded and two bronze medals, no silver as things stand.
Right, Digvijay, there's also a statement that has been released by the Indian Olympic Association. I will just read that out right now. It says it is with regret that the Indian contingent shares news of the disqualification of Vinesh Phogat from the women's wrestling 50 kg class. Despite the best efforts by the team through the night, she weighed in a few grams over 50 kg this morning. No further comments will be made by the contingent at this time. The Indian team requests you to respect Vinesh's privacy right now. It would like to focus on the competitions on hand. That's the statement coming out of the Indian Olympic Association at the moment. Right, Digvijay, the statement that I just read out by the Indian Olympic Association, wherein it says that it regrets that the Indian contingent shares news of the disqualification of Vinesh Phogat from the women's wrestling 50 kg class, despite the best efforts by the team through the night, because she weighed in a few grams over 50 kg this morning.
Yes, that's the statement which has come from the Indian Olympic Association. Everyone in a state of shock. And I'll be honest, I'll just tell you how I figured out the story. The story for today, we are journalists, right, Vanisha, covering the game, so you track a story. The story for today was Vinesh Phogat. And Vinesh Phogat's journey, I will talk about it in just a short while. But Vinesh Phogat's journey has been remarkable. And last year, she was on the streets of Delhi. She slept on the pavements at Jantar Mantar, protesting against the federation. And so I wanted to speak to the doctor who operated her last year. She even suffered a knee injury, and she was operated last year. And she came back from that to reach the Olympic finals. I was reaching out to him this morning for an interview. And that's when he said, can't speak to you, big problem, Vinesh didn't make weight. So it's got everyone by surprise. And as I said, Vinesh yesterday looked very dehydrated as she walked past us. And I think she must have gone to perhaps have a meal. And then through the night, they must have worked. So when we see these wrestlers, these boxers, we think they are aggressive, they give everything. It's a contact sport, they are fighting for their lives, but they do so with barely anything left in their body.
Right, Digvijay, Vinesh Phogat, who reached the final, defying all odds, was approximately 2 kilos overweight on Tuesday night, and apparently she did not sleep the whole night and did everything in her capacity to meet the criteria, from jogging to skipping and cycling, that you've been talking about here. Is there any recourse? We understand that some things are still sketchy and the road ahead.
Well, we were told that the Indian wrestling body was trying to appeal to the United World Wrestling, but at the Olympics, at the World Championships, I don't think that will work. I may sound being harsh at the moment, but the rules are pretty clear. If you haven't made weight, you haven't made weight. It's over. So it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. It's cruel on Vinesh. These are her third Olympics, her best Olympics. She had a chance to win a medal at the Rio Olympic Games, and there in the quarterfinals she suffered that nasty knee injury, came back in a wheelchair. Tokyo wasn't the greatest of Olympics for her, We all know what happened last year, the way she fought the system and Brijbhushan Sharan Singh and took him on for alleged sexual harassment. That case still on. And this was a performance that was worthy of a gold medal. The way she handed the first defeat to the Japanese wrestler. 82 times that Japanese wrestler had competed in international competition. She had never lost a bout. Vinesh was the first, Raisha, to check, to actually beat her. So it's cruel. Sport is cruel, but what's happened right now is even more cruel.
Which I would also like to just read out the statement by the Indian Olympic Association. It is with great regret that the Indian contingent shares news of the disqualification of Vinesh Phogat from the women's wrestling 50 kg class. Despite the best efforts by the team through the night, she weighed in a few grams over 50 kg this morning. No further comments will be made by the contingent at this time. The Indian team requests you to respect Vinesh's privacy. It would like to focus on the competitions on hand. Well, that's the statement by the Indian Olympic Association. Right, we also have with us Manisha Amal, former Olympian, on the phone line with us here today. Hi Manisha, welcome to the show. A completely major setback for India with Vinesh Phogat being disqualified from the gold bout.
Yeah, it's absolutely disheartening and disappointing. I think, obviously, from the wrestling perspective, we all knew that her biggest challenge was going to be able to make the 50 kilograms. And, yesterday was just a fairy tale day where it kind of buoyed the whole Indian contingent and she fought like a real champion. And what we saw yesterday was something spectacular. And it's safe to say that, Vinesh, who has been the greatest women's wrestler of our times, of at least India's times, really kind of shines. So it's really, really sad today to wake up to this kind of news.
Right. Manisha also talked to us about how, if there's any recourse at this point of time, because we understand that some things are still sketchy on the road ahead, and Vinesh Phogat also loses the silver medal that she won.
I mean, I don't know what kind of recourse you're looking for. An Olympics is an Olympics. It comes after 4 years. So I think that the only recourse now would be for her to train for LA and will try and redeem herself there. I mean, there's nothing that can be done now.
From here in Paris. Thank you for connecting with us this morning. This is truly, truly heartbreaking, isn't it? And as Rahisha was asking you, for Vinesh, you know her. You actually, one of the reasons we wanted to get you on this broadcast is that you have actually seen Vinesh and you worked with her ever since she was a promising junior. You've tracked her journey all through. Just talk to us about how she will be taking this. This was perhaps the fight of her life. She fought on the streets of Delhi last year. And then what she did to Susaki, it was unprecedented, and we were all there. In fact, you were there, you lost your voice cheering for her. And this is going to be so hard.
Yeah, I mean, Vinesh has always been an exceptional talent, right from the junior days. I think in Rio, she was the favorite for a medal. So she's always gone in as a medal favorite, and this is not from an Indian perspective. She is considered one of the best wrestlers in the world of all time. So that being said, 50, when she decided to fight 50 kilograms, so late in her career, we really knew that 50 kilograms is going to be quite challenging for her. But I mean, the girl is the most amazing fighter you can ever imagine. The amount of grit and guts that girl has, I've never seen in any other, forget about wrestler, any other athlete per se. Yesterday was I mean, I don't even know how, like, I've met everybody in the UWW, met wrestling experts because I was there yesterday, hence the voice, but it's difficult to even put into words what kind of upset it is. It is definitely one of the biggest upsets of her beating Susaki of all time in wrestling. So it was not like, by the by. That achievement was, I mean, even monumental is not a good enough word for that. And after that, the way she fought and the semi-finals, how she fought, it was. I mean, I will say that she would have been the favorite going in for gold. I mean, she had no pressure. You know, Hildebrand was the second favorite. She's coming in. She fights 50. And Vinesh had all the momentum going for her and the experience behind her. So she would have been the favorite for the gold. I mean, even the UWW people were telling me that.
I could just interrupt because what we're hearing, I'm just going to relay that to you. This is obviously a breaking news situation, so please do not mind me interrupting you. News coming in is that last night she was 2 kgs overweight, and then they worked through the night to cut that weight. You know, a lot of our viewers don't understand what that means. Could you just break it down, because you work so much with these wrestlers, you work so much with contact sports, with boxers. Can you please explain to us what this entire cutting process is? Because Vinesh's actual body weight is around 57 kgs, but she's competing in the 50 kgs, which was when she started out, she was the 48-50 bracket. Could you break this down, what this actually means?